Are you guys ready for an explosive metal soundtrack? I think even if you're not, I think you still need to hear this. So, what this is a movie called Queen of the Damned. Now, this is kind of like I don't know much about it, but it appears to be like a horror genre type movie. And I do know that Aaliyah was in one of the starring roles, and this was her final movie. Now, obviously, this was filmed in the year 2001, so what turned out was the folks from, I'm thinking, yeah, the one of the cats from Korn decided to helm this project, and he wasn't able to get it going, or he wasn't able due to contract issues to appear on it, so he had other people do it. So this is a pretty slick number, just because you get Korn sounding songs with different singers on the songs. So this was a certified hit for me. Now, because of this type thing, there's been other horror movies that have gone with metal and in that direction, but this works extremely well. When I reviewed like the Friday soundtrack, I did not like it as much as I wanted to, and the unfortunate part is movie soundtracks normally do not are not they're just not classics ever. The 8 Mile soundtrack was pretty close. But I'm gonna kind of flip the script and do a metal one just because I'm really starting to enjoy metal more. You're gonna see that April and beyond. So Aaliyah is not on this soundtrack. That's one thing. She's in the movie. I'd recommend going and seeing it. I am thinking about doing a review on it if I really get towards it. What this movie holds is it proves that in a lot of ways some of these trends that were viral back in 2002, 3, 4, this shows that yes, the timing of this was extremely well put together. And I think it's a slick move just because we get new music, uh, possibly a movie in there as well. That's good. And really, there's like a string of movies that are similar to this with accompanying soundtracks. So I'm going to try to pick out some of these more. But, it's not all brand new songs, and there's really not a single on this project, which are two weaknesses. So, like Papa Roach, Disturbed are on here, but they're also from their respective albums in the past. Now, without a single, this project kind of goes under the radar, and I think a lot of people may overlook it. But giving it a shot, I will point out those songs that are the best of the 14 on here. So the production, this the best word that I thought to describe this album when I was listening to it is it's kind of hazy, and which this means it's disorienting and it feels kind of off kilter. But the first four songs on this project do that. You add in Marilyn Manson and some industrial metal that pops up on this project. Plus, yeah, I'd say those continued things make this project just really hazy. So you're gonna be getting a lot of that. The metal I didn't have a problem with at all, but some of the most explosive songs, I'd go, if you need to get familiar with something, go for Down with the Sickness, and also probably I would check out the Disturbed song Forsaken. That one's a really good one. Chester Bennington from Linkin Park shows up on System. First four songs on this project, they hit the nail on the head, but it just does not have it's not close to sounding like you're going to hear this on the radio. So that's the one thing you're going to have to understand. If you are seasoned in metal, this should probably work rather well. But it just, some folks will say doesn't impress me. Well, this is what you're going to have to develop is not it's hard to describe. It's just more of um, it's more of if it doesn't jump off the page, but it's still good music. That's what you're getting. So it simply is not a single. But the songs that you may not have heard but need to listen to. So out of 14 songs, I wound up liking 9 of them, plus one song that I was on the fence about. So the 4 songs that I didn't like were Penetrate, Body Crumbles, Excess, and Before I'm Dead. Now most of these songs, not all, most of these guys were kind of in their early stages of their career, so we were not able to tell if they were used to this yet. Some of these guys that I did not, the songs I didn't like, their careers didn't really go that much farther. Some of them are just not known that well. Like, I think most of you know who Static X is, Marilyn Manson is, Deftones, but towards the back of the album, it's not as common. And it shows that Earshot was definitely one that I haven't heard of, but I like that song. And like I said, the first 4 songs, the song I was on the fence about was the song Change by Deftones. And I think I'll like that in the future. The first 3 songs are the hazy ones that I was saying. They happen to I mean, it just feels like this is chill music refined. If you're just wanting to hang out at your place, play PlayStation, listen to music, and relax, this is music for that. It's not necessarily banging music. And that kind of, well, it's a simple, slick number. That's the only thing I can think about it to say. I'm just trying to describe it in the right tone. I would say it's probably just enough to get you through the night. If you just want to call it a night, order pizza, and jam out for the rest of the night, this is easy. That's exactly what it is. It's just a chill and vibing type soundtrack. But it does have flair to it. So that's what you're getting. Most of the guys who made songs that you've heard of do not slip, and that is an extra bonus. So, but obviously it could have used a single. I'll say it pretty much could have, but I think you probably won't be disappointed. That's really the only strike against it. So I'm gonna give this album a 7.5 because I like 9 out of 14. I guess I could give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 because I like 9 out of 14, but really, it'd pretty much be 10 out of 14, which would be about an 8. So the future, obviously, there's no sequel to this, and just look for more horror soundtracks. I'm gonna wind up doing it. Pretty much, if movies came out and there were metal soundtracks, I'm looking into them at this point in time. The social score, I will give it a 6.5, which basically means how well it plays around groups. Like I said, this is a more laid back, which is surprising for metal, but it is. It's laid back, even though it's metal. So that is pretty much the thing. There's people you're going to know, so just go for them. Plus a few surprising ones like the guy from Orgy and the guy from an Earshot, which were surprising. So that's extra. Can it be topped? I think the answer is it could, but pretty much all it needed was that single. So other than that, this was a high project. So support Aaliyah, support Korn, support the guy from Korn, and go fuck with this project.